Hey, it's Greg at the Vinyl Arms. Thanks for tuning in. I was in York the other day. We took the kids there to do some crazy treasure hunt type thing. And there's a cool little shop in York called Earworm Records. And I got a pass from the wife for sort of 15 minutes to have a little cheeky look in. And I found a couple of records that I thought, you know what, I can't leave without those today. And then that got me thinking, I ain't done a vinyl update for like yonks. So I'm just going to clump together a load of records that maybe I've bought over the last couple of months and just share them with you today. So first of all, in this sanitized world that we live in today, this is anything but sanitized, and it's the Stranglers' second album, No More Heroes. No More Heroes is probably the most sort of commercial track on there in terms of sort of success for the band. But there's loads of gold on here. There's also loads of really sort of edgy stuff and lyrical content. And you know, really gritty guttural bass and angry vocals and sort of everything that 1977 was. And this was produced by the magnificent producer Martin Rushent. And it's got the inner sleeve as well. A cool picture of the band live there. And the labels are rather nice as well. So I'll just quickly show that off there. Stranglers, No More Heroes. A cracking album, 1977. Now, 1977 was a fabulous year for music. And really, what kind of a little bit of a personal quest of mine is to try and find albums from 1977, you know, particularly good ones. And bingo, here was another one that was there too. Thin Lizzy, Bad Reputation. 1977 on the fabulous Vertigo Records and produced from no other than Tony Visconti, who we know very well from David Bowie fame. Excellent producer. Again, comes with a rather nice lyrical, not a lyric in her, but a picture in her, photos of the band, and that's great, that sort of black and white image there. And this is on the Vertigo label, like I say, and it's on this spaceship type label, which is rather nice. Lovely pressing as well. So moving subtly on, or not so subtly, from Tony Visconti. Obviously, he did a lot of work with David Bowie, one of my favourites, and I'm always up for adding to my Bowie collection. And there's a few things that have eluded me, and not particularly rare stuff, but really nice stuff. And to kick off is this one. Changes One, Bowie, a magnificent compilation. I mean, if I just read this out to you: Space Oddity, John I'm Only Dancing, Changes, Ziggy, Suffragette City, Jean Genie, Diamond Dogs, Rebel Rebel, Young Americans, Fame and Golden Years. I mean, blimey, that is a proper tour de force of an album. And you think that's good, and it is good, but I picked this one up too. I thought I can't have one without the other, and Changes too as well, which again is an equally stellar track listing. I mean, just look at that there. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Ashes to Ashes, DJ, 2 songs produced by the legendary Tony Visconti and David Bowie. Brilliant album. And sometimes it's just nice with David Bowie just to sort of listen to, as good as his albums are, but listen to a bit of a compilation, you know, a bit of a best ofs, and those two really tick that box. And you know, there's not a duff track on them. Speaking of a David Bowie album with not a duff track on it, Station to Station. Now this is the 50th anniversary edition, the half Speedmaster pressing on black vinyl, and it sounds absolutely gorgeous. I picked it up from HMV. Wasn't cheap, you can see there, £31.99. You know, you got to be sure you really want a record when you're stumping up 30 quid for it. But I did want this one because I didn't have it on record. I would have liked an original pressing, but the thing is, it's hard to find a nice one. You know, all the sleeves are really tatty with the nature of it being a white sleeve. So it was just impossible to find one in a condition that I'd have been happy with. So when this 50th anniversary came out recently, I thought, you know what, I need to pick up one of those, and I'm so glad I did because it sounds absolute boss. So we're going to move from Bowie now, and we're going to sort of go into the realms of drum and bass, and this is a massive 12-inch. This is It's a band called Over Mono. Two brothers, Ed and Tom Russell, on XL Recordings. And they're remixing an old tune from the noughties by a band called High Contrast. The track is If We Ever. High Contrast was a guy called Lincoln Barrett, made loads of great sort of dance type stuff back in the day. And High Contrast have got hold of that, remixed it. And as I say, this is an absolute massive drum and bass tune. In fact, a bit of a mission now for this year is to try and find more Over Mono stuff, because on the strength of this, I want to hear more. So they're brothers, as I mentioned, Ed and Tom Russell. So keeping that sibling kind of theme going, a band called Cloth. Now, I picked this up in a shop in Farsley, which is just sort of an outlying town of Leeds, a shop called The Record Plant. The guy who works there, who set it up a few years back, is absolutely lovely, a guy called John Paul. Now, Cloth is brother and sister Rachel and Paul Swinton from Glasgow. It's on Mogwai's label. Stuart Braithwaite is on this on guitars on certain tunes. And as I say, it's on Rock Action, which is a great label producing great music. It's on a really nice pink colour vinyl as well, which I'll just quickly show. Look at that, gorgeous, and it's kind of dream indie pop. She's got really sort of hushed and whispery vocals. It's really sort of quite bass heavy. Really nicely done music. So Cloth. Now, the reason I picked that one up, that's their most recent album, but their album before that, which was shortlisted for Album of the Year from in Scotland. And it was this one. This was the album that preceded it, Secret Measure, again on Rock Action Records. Now, this isn't a new purchase, but it's interesting how I came across this, because I picked this up a couple of years ago when it first came out. Pretty much on the day of release, I was in Jumbo Records, and they were playing this on the turntable. And on the strength of hearing that album on the turntable, I bought it. And since then, as with that album coming out, I'm all in for this band. But again, that was a rather nice sort of bluey type vinyl there. So Cloth, excellent band from Glasgow, dream pop. Check them out. And to wrap up, this is an earworm that I've been having recently. You watch music on YouTube, and then it obviously takes you down this algorithm, and then you find stuff. It's a great way of finding stuff that you may not know you even like, or you possibly never even heard of. And this is a track, we're going back to 1981 on Beggar's Banquet, and a massive tune by Freeze called Southern Freeze. Now, the voice of the singer on this is an Ingrid Allman, sort of a black soul singer, the most beautiful voice you've ever heard. And her voice is over the top of sort of a piano and really sort of, again, bass heavy kind of funk backing track. And it's just great. It's sort of 5 or 6 minutes of just pure fun. You listen to it once and you want to put it straight back on and listen to it again. And on the B side of this is a version of the same song as well, which sounds stunning too. So there we go. A few pickups, a few additions to the vinyl arms. Thanks for watching. If any of that floats your boat, let me know. If there's anything that you're enjoying at the moment, let me know. If any of this kind of links into what you're listening to, let me know. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.